Hello, welcome back to Presentation and Seminar Skills 1. This is week 4. I hope you could complete the previous assignments and submit the assignments in time. In today's class, we will focus on recognizing lecture language for transitions and using abbreviations and symbols for note taking. Now, we are moving on to the use of transitions. It is extremely important to follow and understand the transitions when a professor and lecturer moves from one topic to another. This is one of the common features of the lectures, as usually presentations and class contain multiple main points to cover. However, from a listener's point of view, students tend to miss these main points either because they do not pay enough attention to the transitions or a lecturer do not put enough effort in emphasizing the shifts of the main points of his or her lecture. This leads to the week 4's tasks and assignments. First, read the 3 articles on refugees, which are available on Manaba. One is from CNN, one is from Japan Association for Refugees, and another from the Japan Times. Please note that all 3 articles are available in one file. Take notes and guess the topic of the lecture. Then, download the Lecture Language for Transition Lesson PDF worksheet from Manaba and complete exercises A through H on the worksheet. Make sure you should complete a task one by one by following this PowerPoint presentation. Other resources for the worksheet are also available on Manaba. Now, please pause the video and download the reading articles and worksheet. Mind that you will not be able to complete the worksheet without reading the articles. Now, you must have read the articles and downloaded the worksheet. Let's start with exercise A. The chart above is the ranking by country of the number of refugees per 1,000 inhabitants. What do you notice about the countries listed under this ranking? Here is a hint. What kind of countries are not included? Please explain. If you are done with the exercise A, you may move on to the next slide. This is exercise B, building your vocabulary. Match the words with their definitions by putting numbers on the worksheet. Look back at the article you have read to check your answers. As I explained in the last lecture, looking for definitions of keywords and unknown words are very important, as these keywords are going to be used in the lecture, so it is expected that you have already known the meaning and usage of those words. If you have done with this exercise, please move on to the next slide. Now we are on exercise C. Using the vocabulary list above, write answers to the following questions. Once complete, copy your answers on the Manama forum so the rest of the class can see. As you read each other's answers, revise your answers in this handout. Students must use the vocabulary words in their answers and use the reading when appropriate. Pause the video now and complete the exercise C. Before you move forward to exercise D, you need to do the following. 1. Copy and paste all answers from exercise C onto the forum. 2. Make sure to number each answer clearly from 1 through 4. 3. Make sure to find the correct forum. The forum will be clearly labeled. 4. Read each other's answers and revise accordingly. Do not copy others' answers, but use your own words to revise your writing. Pause the video now and check you have done these 4 steps correctly. Now, we will cover the lecture language for transitions. As I stated earlier in this lecture, a speaker has multiple main points in a lecture or presentation. So, paying attention to the transition words become crucially important to follow how the flow shifts when listening. During a lecture, professors often signal when they are introducing or changing topics or ideas. Listen for transitions, the words and expressions that professors use to indicate when they are moving to a new idea. Here are sample expressions that signal a new idea. Now copy these expressions in the box located in the middle of page 3 on your worksheet. It says, on the space below, from the screen, copy the expressions used to signal a transition. Remember, there are a few expressions that professors move a topic from one to another. Therefore, recognizing and paying attention during the lecture is very important to understand the whole lecture. Let's identify these expressions by completing exercise D, recognizing transitions, on your handout. Read the excerpt from a lecture about refugees. Find the lecture language that signals a transition and copy them in the space below. Pause the video now and complete the exercise D. Once complete, you can resume the video. Now we are working on exercise E. First, download audio file exercise E audio transitions on Manaba. Second, once you downloaded the audio file, listen to the recording. The worksheet instructs you to write down the lecture language that signals a transition. Then listen again and write down the ideas that follow the transition. The first time you listen to the audio, try to focus on identifying the transition expressions. I hope you will be able to find 5 transitions or shifts of main idea. The second time you play the lecture audio, try to identify the new main ideas being introduced. Let me give you an example of how the first boxes of the exercise E can be filled out. Listen to the audio on how Professor Kobayama shifts the main ideas with transition expressions. Pause the video now and complete the exercise. Now, we are at the top of page 5 of your worksheet. This section introduces sample abbreviations and symbols for your notes. During a lecture, writing everything what a professor says is impossible and should be avoided. Instead, try to capture only the main points and supporting points in the lecture. In order to pay more attention to the lecture than write down what you hear, here are some sample abbreviations and symbols when you take notes. I highly recommend for you to use these or your own abbreviations and symbols so that you can save time for note-taking. The abbreviations and symbols the previous slide introduced are just a few of thousands. Therefore, exercise F asks you to think of other symbols and abbreviations you might use when taking notes for a lecture. Write your examples in the space below and label each. At least come up with 10 different examples. Now, let's practice how to apply abbreviations and symbols in your notes in exercise G. Read the full sentences below. Take notes in the spaces below using symbols and abbreviations to represent words and ideas. This is a sample reference for number 1 of exercise G. I hope this slide helps you complete this exercise appropriately and enjoy taking notes by reading and listening. Now we are on the last exercise, exercise H. Watch the lecture and take notes on a separate sheet of paper. The link of the lecture is available on Manaba. Remember to listen for the lecture language that signals the topic and lecture plan. What's important in this exercise is that you need to capture the transition of main idea from one to another. I hope you pay enough attention to the lecture transition language and understand how the lecture is structured. Try your best to outline the main points and supporting points by showing clear relationships. Once you completed all of the exercise, upload your exercise onto Manaba. I hope you learned the importance of transition keywords that signals main ideas and subpoints in the lecture. Furthermore, I hope the sample answers for the exercises helped you understand not only how to complete the tasks, but also how to apply your knowledge when listening to a lecture. Lastly, please keep these expressions in mind so that you'll be able to use such expressions when you will deliver your own presentations and speech later in this semester.